Hello everyone, Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, November 14th, 2016, the final Raw before Survivor Series, taking place from Buffalo, New York this evening. This was, of course, the last one before the pay-per-view, and my first review of Raw since right before Hell in a Cell, because I've been on vacation for the last couple weeks. I came up a little early, but I've been catching up on Raw a little bit. I did see a little bit of the Halloween Raw, and I did see the main event of last week's Raw. So I've not seen a lot of Raw, but I've catched up as much to say I'm getting a little bit amped up for Survivor Series, and this being the go-home show, and did pretty well. Yeah, and a lot of the participants of the Team Raw side of things in the matches this Sunday try to get along for the most part. Plus, we have the showdown between Goldberg and Lesnar. And we also have the Smackdown GM and Commissioner showing up to confront the Raw GM and Commish. And let's say they were not alone. They were not alone. So I had to do a little MJ with that. So let's get started with tonight's decent Raw. Some decent things. Some good action. Especially heading towards this Sunday. With the members of the Team Raw teams, all the women, the tag teams, and the men being motivated, should I say, by Mick Foley and Stephanie. Talking about how they're going to get together and unify the teams, especially those members of the teams that don't really get along, which led towards a couple interesting matchups today. It wasn't announced by Shane and Stephanie, but we want to have Enzo and Cass team up with the club. Or it was announced. Yeah, I think all the matches were announced. Enzo and Cass will team up with the club, a team they've been feuding with, and they will be teaming up with at Survivor Series. Teaming against the Golden Truth, who are no longer part of the team, who gave up their spots for timeshares to Puerto Rico to the Shining Stars. Then of course an 8-man tag. And they were best of friends, now the worst of enemies. And they will be on Team Raw Women's side. But they're teaming up tonight. Sasha and Charlotte Flair, now they're adding the Flair to it. I'm still calling her Charlotte. They will team up against Alicia Fox and Nia Jax, the other two out of the 3 remaining women on the Team Raw Women's side. Bayley, the 5th. We also would have Strowman teaming up with Jericho and Rollins, despite Rollins powerbombing Jericho onto Strowman last week in the Fatal 5-Way. I thought it was a decent Fatal 5-Way, with all 5 Raw team members getting their anger out of them. But at least now they got all the attention out to unify each other. And like I said, Rollins, Strowman, and Jericho would team up against the New Day. But we would kick things off with Owens and Reigns teaming up against Cesaro and Sheamus. They were trying to team up together. I think they've done pretty well, especially in the match against New Day at Hell in a Cell, until Cesaro eliminated Sheamus and have had a Royal a couple weeks ago that would determine Braun Strowman to be a member of Team Raw. So they're trying to get back into that state of mind, and especially both teams going for momentum for their respective matches at Survivor Series. In the beginning, Owens and Rollins' former Shield brethren, Reigns, did not get along. Owens is always, and I think we've known this in the past, and Owens always has a bad timing with tag team partners, unless they're his bestie, Chris Jericho. Refusing to tag in for the early part of the match. So despite Owens refusing to get in, Reigns held his own, but he got double teamed by Cesaro and Sheamus, who are starting to get along. They showed that, despite their tensions, they're starting to feel like an well-oiled team. So great double teaming and quick tags, some blind tags. One of these is all gave us some big flying moves, of course, with plunge up. But Owens did get in the match. Comes up with a big diving splash, and it did nail the cannonball on Cesaro. Then Sheamus gave him some big moves, including, of course, the attempt to the Baldwin. And Reigns got tagged in. And Reigns coming with this big move, Superman punch attempts, spear attempts. And then Owens got a little bit involved. He blind tagged himself in his Feather Shield brethren. Reigns was going for the count. And as Owens and Reigns were arguing, he got walked into a brogue kick from Sheamus. And then spear from Woman on the Sheamus. And since Owens was legal, Reigns does kind of become a good team member. It puts Owens on top of Sheamus. 1, 2, 3. Owens and Sheamus win. Oh, not Owens and Sheamus, but Owens and Reigns wins their match. Despite the differences, they got along for the most part. But there is seeds being planted for possible feud between these two, which is likely going to happen because there has been a little bit of spoiler going around that these two will feud in a match at Roadblock, the next Raw only pay-per-view in late December for Kevin's championship. So the seeds of that is boiling with these two. We could see these two explode during the match at Survivor Series, but for now they got to stay unified to help Raw dominate over SmackDown. And speaking of helping Raw dominate SmackDown, Sami Zayn will be going up for the Intercontinental Championship at the Survivor Series against either Dolph Ziggler or Miz, because there is a title match tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, as Miz and Dolph Ziggler, Round a Million, takes place. Or is it a trillion by now? But the match has been great lately on SmackDown. I think SmackDown's doing a lot better job of character development and making us want to see feuds that we've seen before, but giving them a fresh batch. Making them fresh. Especially the Miz Ziggler feud's been amazing. You know, they feuded so many times, but the matches have been amazing. The build's been great, even with the Spirit Squad being involved again. So, the winner of that match tomorrow would take on Sami Zayn. Zayn wants some momentum. So he took on Bo Dallas after a couple good weeks of him getting built up right. And I think they should do something with Curtis Axel. That promo he did a couple weeks ago in Minnesota was amazing. Showed a real Axel. Maybe he could develop in NXT with that character. Then come back. You know, a lot of people should go back to NXT and get over again like Tyler Breeze. But at least Breezango's in the Survivor Series match. That's cool. But no involvement in the Ascension. The burial continues. And the burial for Bo Dallas continues. Despite momentum in the last couple weeks for him, to believe in Bo, I believe he got himself haluva kicked by Sami Zayn. It's okay, quick low splasher. And a 1-2-3 victory for Sami Zayn. You know, they had a little bit of exchange. And Bo's aggressiveness got the best of Zayn. But then, like I said, Zayn got on a roll and got some splash moves before getting the haluva kick nailed on to Bo in the victory for Sami Zayn. I think Zayn should could have smacked him. That's what could happen. He could really get traded for somebody. And SmackDown should get Zayn and the Cruiserweight division. If we could. As Brian Kendrick will be defending his Cruiserweight Championship this Sunday against SmackDown's Kalisto. The Kalisto wins, the entire division goes to SmackDown. And Brian was rallying up the troops, saying that he will keep the Cruiserweights on Raw. He will defeat Kalisto this Sunday, but his former opponent Sin Cara didn't believe him. They will lead towards a match later on this evening. Until then, we had the New Day. Your WWE Tag Team Champions of the world. Teaming up against 3 members of the Men War team. Braun Strowman, Chris Jericho, and Seth Rollins. Now, these 3 trying to get along. Jericho trying to support unity, despite what Rollins did to both Strowman and Jericho last week. By giving both Strowman and Rollins scarves. The scarves of Jericho. Try him on, man. I love Jericho's heel turn. I've been applauding him lately in his heel turn. And I love his heel turns. This is like his best heel turn because he's having fun with it, with the gift of Jericho, and of course, the list of Jericho, which I just read that it wasn't really his idea. It was an idea by Jimmy Jacobs, who's an indie wrestler. Seen him wrestle for a local company, and I actually met Jimmy Jacobs. Nice guy. Decent wrestler. Nice wrestler. In the indie scene. So, Strowman, Jericho, Rollins trying to show unity against the power of positivity. With the New Day coming out alive, all three guys, especially Xavier, looking good, more motivated because Francesca's back after getting smashed at Hell in a Cell by Cesaro. And being the cause of, well, after Kofi got involved in a DQ that cost Cesaro and Sheamus the match, we got Francesca to Turbo. This is the third Francesca, though. The third Francesca. Because the first Francesca got destroyed right around Royal Rumble this year. And then the second Francesca got destroyed at Hell in a Cell. So, despite trying to come together, the New Day looked good early. Xavier coming in with some big moves, some big kicks. But Rollins looked good early on as he was... Well, Jericho started first, and Rollins got in, blind tag. And they were like really blind tag with some big chops in the chest. Rollins gives him some big sling blade. Biggie got gave him some big moves, and Braun Strowman got involved, and he kind of changed the tone of the match. And he just manhandled Biggie, and more importantly, manhandled Kofi Kingston. And even Kingston tried to counter with a chin breaker into Strowman. Then Rollins got in, got with the big moves, even trying to set up for the pedigree. But he got knocked off by Strowman. Strowman and the Biggie and Xavier pulling on the outside. Then Jericho got in. And I love that DDT from Woods that he did to Jericho. And Biggie and Strowman were brawling on the outside, like I mentioned. And Kofi was on the top of getting nailed by Strowman. And Jericho and Xavier were in the ring, brawling. With Jericho getting some big shots in. And then Jericho got tagged in, and Rollins got tagged in, a little bit of blind tagging. Then Strowman, after taking care of New Day on the outside, got in, delivered a big power slam under Xavier Woods, and the 1-2-3 victory for Jericho, Rollins, and Strowman. Despite the differences, they won. And they didn't argue that much. The other teams that had to get along tonight had a few arguments. Reigns and Rollins' Shield brethren, Reigns and Owens, got a little arguments in their match. Of course, we had two women getting into arguments too, and getting a little physical, as we would see in their match. But Strowman, Jericho, and Rollins didn't really brawl with each other, didn't really argue, despite a little backstage confrontation. They got along for the sake of their team this Sunday, and of course for the sake of their brand for this Sunday's PPV. In a decent 6-man tag. Now on to Brian Kendrick and Sin Cara. God, the crowd hated this one. This one, the Cruiserweight division would do so much better on Raw and on SmackDown, not Raw. The crowd would treat it better, and SmackDown would treat the Cruiserweight division better. They would give them time to develop the characters, and time to help them connect with the fans. Raw's not doing that in the Cruiserweight division. That's why Cruiserweight division is kind of a failure on Raw, because they're not giving the Cruiserweights enough time to connect with the fans. They just bunch them together in 6-man tags and don't give them time to speak to the fans and develop the characters. Although I did see a little bit of development with TJ Perkins a couple weeks ago in this match against Brian Kendrick. The night the Hell in a Cell. But this match was boring and the crowd was not doing well with it. And there was a boring... It was okay. They not only do they fail, Raw fails on the Cruiserweight division for character development, but also failing the Cruiserweight division for not letting them wrestle the matches they should. Kind of like what I was saying about the women's division about a year ago. Let the women's division wrestle like they did on NXT. Break those chains. You know what I mean? Take chances, make mistakes. Break the chains and the limitations of the WWE limiting your matches. And we've seen that women's division is breaking those chains. Hello, we just had a women's Hell in a Cell match recently. So the Cruiser division has to be allowed to wrestle like they did in the CWC. We'll probably see that on 205 Live, which I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know a lot of fans like, oh, it's overkill. Another WWE Network show. 4-hour Survivor Series is overkill in my mind. And a 4-hour Royal Rumble is overkill. In my opinion. Yes, apparently WWE Logic, the Big Four, all Big Four should be 4 hours. Bad logic. So back to the case at hand. So Colin, and they had no chemistry at all. They tried to do some high-flying moves, and the crowd was just emphatic to it. And Kenta got some big kicks leading up to the bully choke. Calling it the Catholic, so I still call it bully choke. And Kenta won in a kind of an unexciting matchup. Because they're not allowed to do what they did in the CWC. And that's why SmackDown would treat the Cruiserweight division a lot better. They're going to let them wrestle the matches they need to wrestle. Give them character development. And, oh yeah, did I mention they have a better commentary team for it? With Mo and Allen. Even though now, I think Tom Phillips, a 4-man team on SmackDown. They should just get rid of JBL. Or Tonga. One of those two. Don't make it a 4-man team. 4 people on a thing kind of ruins it. And some of you hate me for this comparison, but I have to do it. I apologize. My entertainment side is going to show here. That's what happened when you had 4 judges in American Idol. It just doesn't work. 3 is the magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number. 3 commentary guys I can handle. 4 is too much. I haven't seen SmackDown in a couple weeks since they had the 4-man team, so I can't really judge it yet. You know, it's kind of a weird dynamic to have 4 guys. But I'll see when I do catch up on SmackDown and watch SmackDown tomorrow night for the 900th episode, how the 4-man team does click, if they do click at all. So, there you go. And then, they kind of timed everything right. They had a dead segment, and then, instead of saving it for the last segment, they had the Goldberg Brock Lesnar segment next to wake the crowd up after the last match could have dead the crowd. And I think this is what they were trying to do in Minnesota with Heyman's promo tonight about the fans chanting Goldberg. And then it failed when everyone kept chanting Suplex City. And you had security in there trying to pick him up. You had a line of security. And both Goldberg and Heyman delivered some good promos. Like, I love Goldberg's return promo. It was sincere. It was genuine. It wasn't scripted. I heard he got a couple points, but all of the points were made improv style. And it kind of felt like that tonight in his promo. And he kept taunting Heyman because Heyman kept mentioning his kids, mentioning his family. His kid, should I say, his son. And Heyman took it over the line as Goldberg whipped his shirt off and won the ball. And Lesnar started it for him. He even said, shut the crowd up. The first words out of Lesnar's face in a while. The reason why Heyman's the mouthpiece. And Heyman's client even shoved down 2 security guards. If that's what started it. After Lesnar took down those security guards, Goldberg started taking them out. Spearing him, clotheslining him. Even 2 security guys that were left scurried before they were nailed by Goldberg. Now then Heyman's client was on the apron and teased to get in, whipped his shirt off, and jumped down and basically said, pay $9.99 to see it on Sunday. Or $3.99 if you're a new subscriber. So, there you go. Good confrontation. At least, like, the only good thing is, at least they're not letting him brawl tonight. And letting him, stir the pot and make the anticipation more with it. Whet the appetite more and make them wait till Sunday. Instead of seeing them clash tonight, save it for Sunday. Make more anticipating. Now, I'll give you my thoughts on the match overall. When I end this review, I'll give my thoughts on the matches, my kind of predictions for the pay-per-view. So there you go. So I was like, after this segment, I was like, they better not have the women's match after Goldberg and Lesnar. Yep, they did. They actually put Sasha and Charlotte, their match, against Alicia Fox and Nia Jax right after the Goldberg segment. That's almost as bad as putting a women's match after Tucker losing to Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. Oh, wait a minute. That actually happened. But the crowd wasn't really dead. They were momenting from that great segment as Sasha got a good pop. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, that we've had a couple teams teaming up together. Rollins teaming up with Strowman and Jericho. They had no argument in their match. Waynes and Owens had a little argument. And Sasha and Charlotte, boy oh boy, did they get into they brawled with each other during the match. They were pushing and shoving each other. They would not settle aside the differences. And Alicia and Nia Jax would capitalize on that a lot by Alicia Fox doing a big fly spot off the top, nailing them both. Nia Jax maybe was some big slams. But despite the momentum that they had from Sasha and Charlotte not getting along, despite them being the best of friends in NXT, but now they're the worst of enemies, they still pulled it together as Charlotte would take out Nia Jax to leave Alicia Fox prone to the bank statement. And Lisa started tapping. So there you go. And Bayley was on commentary. She got to make it raised both hands. We'll see if all 5 of these women will get along this Sunday against the Smackdown women. It's weird Nikki Bella's the captain. Should have been Alexa Bliss's opponent from last week, Becky Lynch. She's the champion. She should be captain. Fuck Nikki Bella. Oh, ego's as big as her boyfriend, John Cena. So after that, we had ourselves our 8-man tag involving Enzo and Cass teaming up with the club. Yeah, I said it. It's almost as bad as saying Sasha and Charlotte teamed up. It's like weird to say it. But after weeks of feuding each other and making the club look good one night and making them look like goofs the next night like they did on Halloween night, these two teams would team up against the Shining Stars, who will be on Team Raw this Sunday, and the team that sacrificed their spot for timeshare in Puerto Rico, storyline-wise, the Golden Truth. Well, at least they don't have to reprice their feud at Breezango. That would have been the only weird, entertaining point if Golden Truth was still on Team Raw, because Breezango's now on the Team Smackdown tag teams. So Enzo and Cass look pretty good. Double teaming, big tagging in, taking out the heels, and kind of colliding a little bit with Golden Truth. They had a little stare down. But then, boom, R-Truth and Enzo and Cass got a little ball. Then the club came in. Some dominant moves. Taking care of R-Truth in the corner. And even delivering the Magic Killer onto R-Truth. The club and Enzo and Cass kind of didn't work together. They were tagging each other, dominating on R-Truth with big moves from Enzo's partner, Big Cass, Big Boot. And of course, as I mentioned, the Magic Killer onto R-Truth. Things were doing good until the ending. They kind of trolled. They, being the club, trolled Enzo. They had R-Truth in the position for the bottom boom shakalaka. Enzo to the top. He was going to get launched. But then club was like, yeah, we're going to pin R-Truth 1, 2, 3, and the club win. They won, but Enzo and Cass were not too pleased with the club, who said they would turn their backs on anybody. Well, they were on the good side of the team of Enzo and Cass until they trolled Enzo and prevented him from doing the bottom boom shakalaka. They teased him. They trolled him. Whatever phrase you want to say about it. And they got the victory. So on to our summit we have the State of the Universe happening on the network, which I'll watch eventually. We would see Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon come out to talk with Stephanie and Mick about this Sunday's pay-per-view, about their respective brands going head-to-head in 3 traditional Survivor Series matches. And Daniel's like, talking about men going off of buildings. And Stephanie even questioned Shane being involved in the matchup, which I questioned it too. You know, why is Shane involved? That spot should have been given to Miz or Apollo Crews if they weren't going to give it to Baron Corbin. You're a young guy. You know, SmackDown's the so-called land of opportunity, yet they're not giving the young guy opportunity to represent SmackDown. They're giving it to Shane, who could be getting some practice for a possible feud with Lesnar. Could Shane be involved in a Lesnar-Goldberg match to serve a possible Lesnar-Shane match for whatever reason that was kind of teased at SummerSlam? Anywho, these four were talking. And Stephanie's like, well, Shane, you want to put yourself in the line of fire? Well, guess what? Here comes Team Raw. Because Mick Foley said earlier in a backstage segment to Team Raw, stick around for the fireworks. Well, they were sticking around and came out to confront Shane and Daniel with Mick and Stephanie leaving the ring. And at Oakley, we'd see some SmackDown guys invade. And then we didn't see Dolph Ziggler or Kalisto, but we did see Team SmackDown, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and, along with Shane, the mascot of SmackDown. Yes, it's a mascot. Well, we have no holds, Swaggle, James Ellsworth. And this was a very fun exchange with AJ and Owens exchanging some great promos against each other. And then AJ was on the list. The list of Jericho, and even James Ellsworth was on the list. Then Bray Wyatt was confronting Strowman, because look at the scenario here. You got 3 former members of the Shield in this match. Rollins and Reigns on the same side against Ambrose on the opposite side. Braun Strowman against Bray Wyatt on opposite sides. And of course you got AJ and Owens, the 2 champs of opposing sides. And you got the lunatic Ambrose, who took the mic from AJ, they nailed it at Jericho, and the brawl was on between Raw and SmackDown. Strowman was beating up on Shane. I was like, wow. He was like really stumping a model in Shane in the corner. And then Shane and Strowman would eventually ball back up and toss each other over the top rope with a big clothesline. And then it was Spotpalooza. We would see Ambrose and Rollins everybody on the outside. And then Jericho would do a big dropkick under AJ Styles. And then Jericho would get all KO'd by Randy Orton. And then Reigns came in with a Superman punch. And then Wyatt came in trying to go for a Sister Abigail. Then Reigns Superman punched Wyatt. And then as Reigns was going to do a splash, AJ Styles came in. Others going to Styles clash Reigns. But then Rollins came in and agreed AJ Styles. And then Reigns, with AJ down, they delivered the Shield double powerbomb onto AJ with both Reigns and Rollins standing tall. I'm glad it wasn't just Reigns, because Reigns was looking good and he was getting his ass booed. He didn't get booed that bad in Hartford, but he got booed tonight in Buffalo like he's probably going to be booed to hell in Toronto Sunday. But they had to play his theme song to end Wall with Rollins, not just Rollins and Reigns, but the entire Team Raw members standing tall as SmackDown retreated back to their home for tomorrow night's live SmackDown. So a decent go-home pay-per-view, go home Raw tonight. No new matches set, but it didn't matter. It's about building the matches we do have. So we got the two interpromotional title matches. It's weird that Rusev wasn't involved in this show, and he's not involved in Survivor Series in general. You know, he's been a big heel lately until he lost to Reigns, and he's lost his way again. But we would have two interpromotional title matches. Brian Kendrick against Kalisto. Winner gets the division. Brian would keep the division on Raw if he wins. Kalisto would bring the division to SmackDown. It should be SmackDown, so I'm going with I love D. Brian Kendrick and what he's doing. But I want the division on SmackDown, so Kalisto should win. Just for the sake of the Cruiserweight division being brought to SmackDown. It should be a decent match if they let him wrestle the match like they did on the C-Dub scene. Not the matches they've been having on Raw. You know, watered down. They would not be watered down on SmackDown. That's what I believe. SmackDown has a limited opportunity. Then we have, of course, Sami Zayn against Dolph Ziggler. On The Miz if Ziggler beats Miz tomorrow night. I believe it'll be Ziggler. And I believe Ziggler will retain over Sami Zayn. Unless the only reason Sami Zayn would win is if he becomes an official member of SmackDown. That's the only reason, because we don't need two mid-card titles on Raw. Both brands should get one mid-card title. You know, US titles on Raw and IC titles on SmackDown. It should stay that way. Now on to the big interpromotional Survivor Series matches. My thoughts on them. We have the tag teams. 5-on-5. 5 tag teams against 5 tag teams. Basically, 10 on 10. We have New Day, Enzo Cass, The Club, Shining Stars, and Primo, and Cesaro and Sheamus against Heath Slater and Rhino, the Usos, American Alpha, Breezango, going to Hype Bros. Tough pick, but I got to pick SmackDown to win. So I love American Alpha. I would love to see Alpha and New Day clash. That'd be awesome. And SmackDown's got some good tag teams. Both teams do. But you got Usos, American Alpha. If they put aside their differences in this match, and Hype Bros too, and team together, good, SmackDown could be on a wall. But I think SmackDown will win this match. Then we have Team Raw against Raw, women against SmackDown women. Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha. And the ones that matter with Nia Jackson, Alicia Fox, that nobody cares for. Taking on SmackDown's women, Team Captain Nikki Bella, which it should not be. It should be Becky Lynch. But we have Becky Lynch, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Carmella. I gotta go with Raw in this case. The only reason Raw would lose is if Charlotte and Sasha don't get along again like they did tonight. So we'll see if they do get along Sunday. Then, of course, the men. Team Raw, we have, of course, the besties. The Universal Champion Owens and Chris Jericho, Rollins and Reigns, and Strowman against Team SmackDown, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Shane McMahon. Now, 10 years ago, we had Team Raw against Team SmackDown. About 11 years ago, in Detroit. Team Raw and Team SmackDown. SmackDown won that Survivor Series match. And, oh yeah, guess who was the sole survivor? Randy Orton. Could it be the same again? SmackDown wins and Orton's one of the sole survivor? So, going on history, SmackDown will win the final match. Because we're probably going to get a split. Because SmackDown will win the tag team. Raw would win the women's match. Or the opposite. Raw wins the tag team. And the SmackDown wins the women's one. And it'll all come down to the final match. And SmackDown will win that. It went out 2 out of 3 interpromotional Survivor Series matches. Now on to Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, your main event. Here's a bad formula. Brock Lesnar, main eventing a Big 4 pay-per-view equals failure and a bad ending. Now, counting 2012, 13, 14, 15, the last 5 years, Brock Lesnar's at least main evented a couple of the Big 4 pay-per-views. Mostly SummerSlams. For the last 14, The last 3 out of 5 years of SummerSlam, Lesnar's been a main event of SummerSlam. 2012, worst main event ever. 2014 with Cena, not bad. 2015 with Taker, good despite the ending. Then this year's SummerSlam, actually 4 in the last 5. Lesnar's main event. He didn't main event 2012. Well, he didn't main event 2012. He didn't main event 2013. 2014 was him with Cena. But this year's SummerSlam main event was the worst SummerSlam main event of all time. And he also main event, I don't think he main evented in some Survivor Series or Royal Rumble in the last couple of years. But my point is, Lesnar's main event in a Big 4 pay-per-view, it usually ends shitty. And we've already had 2 of the Big 4 pay-per-views have shitty endings. WrestleMania had a shitty ending with Reigns winning. SummerSlam had a shitty ending with the Lesnar-Orton match. I do not want another Big 4 pay-per-view to have a shitty ending. So please, Goldberg and Lesnar, don't suck like you did in WrestleMania 20. Please do not suck. Please do not bore the fans. And do not end the pay-per-view on a shitty note. I would predict... I've been dissing Lesnar. But since Lesnar's a full part-time guy, Brock Lesnar should win. Because he has to beat Goldberg. But I would love to see Goldberg win. And hopefully the match doesn't suck. You know, there's a good hype behind it. You know, great vibes with Goldberg coming back. I love that comeback he did. You know, that promo he did in Denver was amazing. And genuine and sincere. But I hope the match doesn't suck. Especially since it's the main event. You know, it's a bad omen with Brock Lesnar main eventing another Big 4 pay-per-view. And we already had a weird ending to Hell in a Cell. Apparently WWE doesn't like good endings. WWE doesn't want to have a happy ending for a pay-per-view. Especially Big 4. They're like, oh, let's have a shitty ending for WrestleMania. And a shitty ending for SummerSlam. No one's going to complain. Not! And let's hope we do have a good ending for Survivor Series. In Toronto this Sunday. And I will say this. This is the first Survivor Series in Canada in 20 years. And it's the first one in Canada since, poetically, the Montreal Screwjob. We do not want a Toronto Screwjob, especially if Shane tries to come in. That would be a shitty ending. If Shane comes in and gets in Lesnar's face, getting revenge for getting F5 at SummerSlam, kind of starting a feud for WrestleMania. It should be after the match, though. If Shane gets involved, after the match. Not doing it. Just like SummerSlam. But I'm willing to get no involvement at all. Just a good match, okay match, and a good ending. Please, for once, WWE, please have a good ending. A happy ending for once. In your 4-hour show. 4-hour show. Survivor Series. Because when I used to tell people that Raw's 3 hours, I used to say, a 3-hour show. A 3-hour show. Kind of like Young and Silent. Or a 4-hour show. Now I'm singing 4-hour show instead of Cena. You know, John Cena sucks. 4-hour show. So there you go. Had to do that. So with all that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you Sunday for my Survivor Series review. See you later. Bye-bye.